And however, I met a young woman who was a photographer in Vegas, and she had been to his suite and knew him personally, and she told me, oh, no wonder, yes, he's very interested in this. So that sort of picked it up for me, and I began to bring in more and more things. And, but I never had any reception, you know, he never spoke to me, other than just to come to me and to receive those things. And he was the first man I ever kissed, from the stage, of course. And so anyway, after he passed, I read a beautiful short book that had been not self-published, but published by a very small publishing firm, by a woman named Wanda June Hill. And I was very moved by this book because, as you know, how the media is about anyone, whether it's Elvis, Michael Jackson, whomever. The minute they die, they start writing all kinds of crazy things about them that they know nothing about, and people that claim to be their friends start writing crazy things so they can make money, and there it goes. So, you know, that's what was happening with Elvis. But this one book just seized my heart. This was written about the man that I experienced in Las Vegas. My mother and I, we would see his auras just jumping to the ceiling, and no one else is like that, you know. And from my friend in Vegas, she told me he was a serious student of metaphysics, a very beautiful human being, and even a healer at times. So Wanda's book touched on some of that, but also just showed the beauty of who he really was. And I was so moved by it, I wrote to her, and I just said, I really love your book, you know. Well, interestingly, she wrote me back and said thanks, and maybe a year or two later I get a letter from her, and she says, did you write Red Tree? Well, Red Tree was a book that I wrote. I've written about, oh, I don't know, 10, 15 manuscripts when I was in my 20s. Only that one got published by a Texas publishing house that published Westerns. But this book was on Lemuria, California. When they migrated from Wu to that particular area, they would use the red tree stumps. They would use the wood for their homes, not a lot, they were careful, but and they would use the stumps to write their history on them, and these beautiful symbols and things. So I named the book Red Tree, and I had drawings that I hand drew the people and all kinds of things. And I wanted to give folks a copy. So from the stage, I gave him a copy. I gave him a lot of things. They were all metaphysically involved of mine. And I gave him that copy. I was channeling some information about different star systems and star lineages. And I had received that my particular star lineage came from Rigel, the blue star Rigel. And so I researched it a little more akashically because I was interested personally. And up came some of the other souls on this earth. I'm sure there are many, but you know, a few of them that were notable that had been blue star Solarians, as they were called. And one of them was Anwar Sadat, and another one was Elvis Presley. So I thought, wow, I'm going to write Wanda and tell her this. I don't know what she thinks about this stuff, but I sent her, because I wrote this in my publications that were hard copy in those days, I sent her that issue that had the whole thing about the blue star migration and all of this, and then incidentally mentioned Elvis and Anwar Sadat. Well, rather quickly, now this is in the days, mind you, in the 80s, okay? No internet. You write people letters and they write you back. So I got a letter finally back from her, and she, rather quickly actually, and she said, oh my God. She says, I have Elvis telling me that on tape in 1970. I'm getting chills just telling you this. And he didn't just say, he said, the blue star Rigel in Orion. He even called it the blue star. He said, that's where my soul is from. He wasn't claiming that he came here on a spaceship. He was talking about star lineage.